They came from a star system thousands of light years away, traveling at the speed of light through a wormhole that opened up right next to the Earth. Their technology was advanced beyond our comprehension. Their weapons were terrifying. They attacked us without warning, and by the time we realized what was happening, it was too late. We had no choice but to surrender and hand over our planet to these ruthless conquerors. But there was one thing about humans that the aliens did not count on, and that was our spirit, our will to survive, our desire for freedom. And as the aliens began to take over our world, we fought back. At first, it was a losing battle. The aliens were too powerful for us. They could destroy entire cities with just a snap of their fingers. But then something unexpected happened. The aliens became afraid. They didn't understand it, but something about our world, something about us, scared them. So much so that they retreated, leaving Earth to its inhabitants. In this episode, we are going to find out why. Why did the aliens fear our planet? What was it about us that made them so scared? And what is the connection between our weapons and their sudden retreat? It all started with the discovery of the wormhole. It was found near the Earth in the year 2045. The wormhole was an entrance to another part of the universe, a gateway to a world unknown. The aliens who came through the wormhole were called the Krill. They were tall and thin, with gray skin and huge black eyes. Their technology was thousands of years advanced compared to ours. Their ships were invisible to radar, and their weapons were deadly. The Krill had been watching us for years before they decided to invade. They had seen our wars and our conflicts, our cruelty and our greed. But they had also seen our potential, our intelligence, and our ability to adapt. They believed that we were a threat to them, so they decided to take matters into their own hands. The invasion was swift and brutal. The Krill destroyed our satellites and disabled our communication systems. They attacked our cities with weapons that seemed like magic to us. They were energy beams that could cut through concrete and steel as if it were butter. Explosions rocked the planet as entire buildings were wiped out in seconds. People ran for their lives, hiding in the streets or in the countryside. The Krill were relentless. They did not want to kill us all, but they wanted to scare us, to make us cower before them. And they succeeded. Most countries surrendered immediately. Only a few rebel groups remained, led by people who refused to give up. They were farmers, teachers, mechanics, ordinary people who had had enough of being treated like animals. They took up arms and fought back against the Krill, of course. They were no match for the invaders' technology, but they were desperate. They had nothing to lose. And as the Krill began to take over our planet, these brave rebels struck back. The Krill were baffled. They couldn't understand why these primitive creatures would defy them. They had expected submission, not resistance. The Krill had underestimated the human spirit. They thought we were a weak and divided species, but they soon realized that we were not. As the fighting continued, the Krill became more and more afraid. They didn't know it, but every time they hurt one of us, they were making things worse. Because as we fought back, we learned more about their technology, their weaknesses, and their fears. The Krill had not expected us to be able to adapt so quickly. But we are humans. We are capable of learning and evolving at a rapid pace. The more we fought, the better we became. And as we improved, we began to understand what the Krill feared most. It was not our weapons that scared them. In fact, those weapons were useless against the Krill. It was not our numbers that intimidated them. After all, we were only a small fraction of the population of their home planet. What scared the Krill was our music. You heard that right. Our music was the kryptonite of the aliens. It was our symphonies of pain and sorrow, our anthems of courage and hope, our songs of love and loss that terrified them. The Krill had never heard anything like it. When they first landed on Earth, they had jammed all of our radio frequencies, believing that it would prevent us from communicating. But they had not counted on the fact that we would use other means to communicate, such as loudspeakers and amplifiers. As the fighting continued, the Krill began to hear our music everywhere. It was coming from cars, from buildings, from phones. It was in our homes and in our hearts. The Krill did not understand our language, but they understood our music. They could feel the emotions behind it, the passion, the despair, the anger, the hope, and they were scared. One day, the Krill intercepted a song that changed everything. It was a song about the bombing of Dresden during World War II. It was a song about the horrors of war, about the loss of innocence, about the pain of survival. The krill had never heard anything so sad, so powerful. It was a song that spoke to their souls, and they couldn't understand why. When they finally managed to track down the source of the music, they found a group of people gathered around a radio. They were crying, they were praying, they were singing along. The krill could not believe what they were seeing. They had expected to find weapons, but instead they found people. They had expected to see fear, but instead they saw courage. The krill tried to understand our music, so they captured one of the humans and brought him before their leader. They wanted to know why we created such powerful songs, why we listened to them, what they meant to us. The human was tortured, but he would not speak. He did not know much about music himself, but he knew that it was a powerful force, that it could inspire, unite, and heal. He tried to explain this to the krill, but they did not listen. They took the human back to his world and forced him to broadcast a message to all of humanity. They wanted us to stop making music, to stop singing our songs. But when the human looked into the camera and spoke to his people, something unexpected happened. He did not beg for mercy. He did not plead for his life. He sang a song about hope, about resilience, about the power of the human spirit. And as he sang, something amazing happened. The people all over the world joined in. They sang with him, they cried with him, they prayed with him. And the krill watched in amazement as our planet became a chorus of voices, a symphony of hearts. The krill did not understand our music, but they could feel its power. They could see how it inspired us, how it united us, how it gave us strength. They were scared. They knew that they had made a mistake. They had underestimated us. They had thought that we were weak and divided, but they had been wrong. They had not expected us to fight back, let alone to resist with such passion and determination. They had not expected our music to become our weapon, our shield, and our armor. The krill tried to stop us from singing, but it was too late. Our music had become a part of us, a part of our culture, a part of our soul, and they could not erase it. They could not silence us. They could not break us. And so the krill retreated. They left our planet to us, defeated and ashamed. They had come to conquer, but they had learned a valuable lesson. They had learned that music is a powerful force, that it can inspire, unite, and heal. And they had seen the power of the human spirit, the courage, the hope, and the will to survive. And maybe that's why they left. Maybe they were afraid of our music, but maybe they were also inspired by it. Who knows? All we know is that we won. We won because we did not give up. We won because we fought for our planet, for our freedom, for our future. We won because we sang. And now, you need to watch. If aliens exist, why haven't they visited yet? Or have a look at this video instead.